Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos, and today I have for you my Obelisk The Tormentor deck. Now you guys know I gotta make my decks as untraditional as possible, so I didn't want to go the route that most people went, which was Ras Disciple, stuff like that. I'm still using tokens like most people did, but I'm using reptilians in my deck. So for this skill I went with Destiny Draw. I couldn't use something like Draw Sense high level because I'm running 2 reptilians, so in order to really guarantee that I get Obelisk, I wanted to go for Destiny Draw. But what if I already have Obelisk and I'm missing a different piece? So Destiny Draw just seemed like a good skill. I'm very upset though that Yami Yugi doesn't get a animation for Obelisk. I feel like he should get one for all 3 gods, but whatever. So for the deck list we have 1 Prismatic Obelisk The Tormentor, 2 Reptilian Vasky, level 8. Cannot be normal summoner set. This card cannot be special summoned except by treating 2 face-up monsters with 0 attack from anywhere on the field. So this is just basic reptilian stuff, but I wanted to run it in combination with Hardened Armed Dragon because you basically have a 3-card combo. Hardened Armed Dragon can be special summoned by sending 1 level 8 or higher monster from your hand to the graveyard. So if you have Hardened Armed Dragon, Reptilian Vasky, you send Vasky to the grave, you get your Hardened Armed Dragon on the field, and then you go for Reptilia spawn, you have your 3 monsters, and you go for Obelisk. I really wanted to use Hardened Armed Dragon in the deck because in the TCG there's a very powerful deck that, well, used to be, that basically revolve around summoning your Obelisk using Hardened Armed Dragon, because as you know, if you tribute this card for the tribute summon of a level 7 or higher monster, that monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. So in Duel Links it's really only protecting him from things like Widespread Ruins, maybe Wind Up, things that don't target and destroy. In the TCG you are protecting him from like Mirror Force and stuff like that. So then the only way they can get over it is by battle or non-targeting banish. But it's not, it's not as needed in Duel Links, so I didn't want to go full Hardened Armed Dragon engine, but I threw one in there just for the Easter egg to remind me of when I used to do it in TCG. 3 Reptilian Gardener, 2000 defense. It can wall up a lot of the decks right now, like Destiny Heroes and stuff like that. Even Koaki Meru, if they don't summon Maximus, they can attack over it with the little monsters. So it's a good wall. When it gets destroyed, you get to add a Reptilian monster from your deck to your hand, so you can either search Vasky, another copy of itself, or the boy Reptilian Viper. I wanted Viper here because I wanted some sort of synchro engine, just so that the deck could function outside of Obelisk. So that's why we're running a Reptilian Viper. He can also steal a face-up monster your opponent controls with 0 attack. So that's really good to steal and then go into a synchro play. 2 Arrival Rivals, just so we can summon Obelisk during the battle phase if we need to, or as that extra normal summon. 3 Reptilian Spawn, which is going to get us our tokens by banishing Reptilian monster. So we get 2 tokens out of 1 Reptilian. So really good way to get fodder for Obelisk. 1 Drowning Mirror Force, 3 Paleozoic Canadia, and 2 Wall Disruption. Wall Disruption helps by making their attack 0, and then you can either steal with Reptilian Viper and Reptilian Vasky. So there's not like amazing synergy between Obelisk and Reptilian, but this is what I came up with. Extra deck, Stardust Dragon, Underworld Fighter, Balmung, because if you have Reptilian Spawn and Reptilian Viper, you can go into a level 4 synchro if that's the only play you have. Scrap Archfiend, 1 Iron Chain Dragon, and 1 Reptilian Hydra, the Reptilian synchro monster. But that's it for the deck list. Let's go ahead and show you guys some replays. And this is obviously just a fun deck. I don't know how viable Obelisk is gonna be as far as like if you try to go real competitive, because it is hard to get him out without your opponent interrupting the play. But once you get him out, it's really hard. I don't think I lost any duels once I got Obelisk out, which definitely says something. Here we're going up against Odeon, and this was kind of a free win because he plays very passively. He just sets 3 back row, which allows me to set all of my monsters. Go for our rivals, summon Obelisk, and this actually turned out to be a what kind of deck was it? I think it was a Traptrix deck. So all the trap hole cards cannot be activated whenever Obelisk is summoned. Everything else targeted, which was like Canadia. So he was definitely screwed after I went for Obelisk. Like I said, that was kind of a free win. I think that was like the first duel where I summoned Obelisk, and I didn't know how consistently I was going to be able to do it, so I just went ahead and saved it. Here we have a Heart-Gnome Dragon. Once again, we're kind of playing passively. My opponent doesn't want to activate or trigger my Destiny draw, so they end up just passing a lot. Parallel Twister is going to destroy my Canadia, and luckily for me, they never get a second monster that they can summon and, you know, attack my life points with. So now I have a rival set, and I set the rivals just so I could protect myself in case he was trying to go for a game. I mean, it was the only way to put another body on the field and, you know, not lose the game. But here we go for the play that I mentioned. We summoned 2 reptilian tokens by banishing with reptilian spawn. We sent the Vasky to the graveyard with our Heart-Gnome Dragon, and now we can go for the summon. So this Obelisk cannot be destroyed by anything other than battle, and it has to be banished or sent to the deck, stuff like that. We're gonna destroy the Dragon Knight of Creation. Opponent's gonna go Felgrand. I thought he had a Felgrand and maybe he could get over 4,000, so I got a little bit worried there. But he just goes for Dragon Spirit of White. Summons a White Knight Dragon, and then I guess he realizes that there's nothing he can do to Obelisk, and then we get the scoop. There was one match in particular where I was really happy of how I ended up winning the duel, because that was not the winning condition I was going for when I made the deck, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I think it's the one after this. So here we got a Yemi Merrick balanced deck. They were using Geminis with the new Crusader of Endymion, which is pretty interesting. He's gonna use Spark to destroy my Reptilian Vask. So now we can go Reptilian Spawn, set another card, go for a rivals, and that's the game. Easy stuff. Yeah, once you have the combo piece, like I said, it's pretty straightforward. And this was the matchup that I was very surprised to have won. But I mean, I feel like I played it perfectly. There was no other way to beat this man's deck, at least not with what I have, with what I had without him, you know, destroying himself. So we're gonna see Life Point Boost Alpha, and we see Buster Blader. So this is obviously hard because Obelisk is affected by DNA surgery, so I didn't know how the matchup was gonna go, but you know, we're gonna set 3 back row. I went for the Wall of Disruption here because I wanted to steal that that Karibo, and then go into my Reptilian Vasky, hit him for 2,600. It's gonna set 3 cards and immediately go for DNA Surgery, Destruction Swordsman Fusion into a Buster Blader in defense position. So he was playing around my back row, you know, playing around a Wall of Disruption or playing around Drowning Mirror Force, which I did have, I think. Oh no, I thought I had it. But we're just gonna be taking this damage. Obviously, we're not in lethal range by any means. It's gonna keep searching Buster Blader, and I didn't know here, but he's basically waiting out his draws. He's waiting for Mirage Dragon to safely attack into my back row, but he doesn't want to trigger my Destiny draw, which is smart. Here we're gonna see him summon a Buster Blader. Doesn't go for the attack. And this is where I decide to go ahead and make my entire play. So we're gonna start things off by using Canadia, and I knew he had a second Buster Blader fusion, right? So what I'm trying to do is force the activation when I summon Reptilian Vasky because I can still summon my Obelisk, as you will see. So we're gonna go Reptilian Spawn number 1, and I could destroy the Buster Blader, so I'm forcing him to activate his Swordsman Fusion right away. And now I can safely summon my Obelisk by getting my Canadia from the grave and using a second Reptilian Spawn. And that was it. That's all I could do. Put a 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense body on the board and hope that he couldn't get over it. This is only 3,800 unless I summon another monster. So yeah, that's all I go for. Like now, all I can hope for is that he decks out. After he did this, I felt super safe because even if he summons another Destroyer Swordsman, he can't attack directly. So he has to tribute to go into a Buster Blader and then go for a Dark Paladin play. Either way, I didn't think he could deal enough damage in one turn. And I guess I get very lucky because I don't know what card he was missing, but he ends up making a big play at the very end. Maybe his second Mirage Dragon. But yeah, right here I'm just going for the deck out. So we see him go for Destruction Swords and then Fusion, and that told me that he didn't have another Dragon Destroyer. And so I felt pretty safe because if he summons Dark Paladin, he's gonna need another monster other than this guy to deal 2,300. And I didn't think he could do that. He summons a Mirage Dragon, heals my Obelisk, but only hits me for 1,600. So we're gonna summon the boy Reptilian Viper because he looks like he's sticking his tongue out at you. So it was kind of like, yay, I won, you decked out. Obelisk, man. And for this last duel, we have an Arcana. I'm really glad they finally gave us Obelisk, but I mean, unless I think they just had it all planned out to make it an anniversary gift. I don't think it was necessarily them being worried about Obelisk being too powerful for the game. So here we're just gonna go ahead and set our turtle, go for Reptilian Viper. And here I'm gonna go for my Synchro play because if I'm able to destroy this monster and there's no delay, I can rival rivals into Obelisk for game. Unfortunately, it's a Wing Rebo, but I'm still gonna summon my Obelisk and, you know, have him, force him to deal with this humongous beast. I pick up a Wall of Disruption, which I didn't know, but it ends up being the most clutch card I could have drawn. And I'm really happy that I put it in the deck. We're gonna destroy another Wing Rebo. And look how lucky this guy gets. He goes Dark Magic Curtain. This is a Hail Mary play. He goes for Dark Magic Curtain. Obviously, 1,000 Knives is out of the question. But he has to add Dark Magic Expanded right here in order to boost up his Dark Magician. And I'm pretty sure he gets it off the skill. I don't think he had... Yeah, see? That's the card he added with the skill. So he gets the Dark Magic Expanded, which is gonna let him get to 4,500 attack. However, he attacks into my Wall of Disruption, and pretty much his last resort gets obliterated. Goes for the Birthright, takes another 15 to the face, and then we see the scoop. So yeah, Obelisk is really fun when you get him out, but getting him out it's definitely a challenge, especially with many decks that are just, you know, OTKing. There was sometimes where I was really close and my opponent would just hate Runate and then Guakimeru the crap out of me. So yeah, I think Obelisk is fun. I don't want to go up against him. I haven't so far, but I don't think he's going to break the game in any shape or form, unless vampires run it in a very consistent way, and then, you know, we have to deal with Grace, Vampire Vamp, and an Obelisk. That would be pretty unfair. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. Join my Discord if you haven't. The link will be down in the description, along with my PayPal link if you guys want to support my channel and support my content. I really appreciate that. And until next time.